Welcome to this video series about improvising by Sietze de Vries. You can support this video series by donating the amount of your choice to Sietze de Vries' Patreon account, which can be found by searching Sietze de Vries Patreon or by finding the link in the description below the video. Enjoy the video.
So, Partita 2 of our variations on a hymn tune copied after Partita of Johann Pachelbel that we use as an example, because Pachelbel was really good at making a good system and to make very orderly actually an idea how to make variations. It has a downside, it can be a bit boring, but actually to learn how to make variations, it's really good material. So first let's have a look what Pachelbel does here. I will play the hymn tune once more, Christus der ist mein Leben, and then I will play Partita 2. So you can tell it's quite easy to follow the melody, and that's because Pachelbel used a quite smart trick for that. Of course you heard that the right hand is more interesting now than just the melody. It's fast notes all the time, but there is a pattern, and the pattern is quite simple to copy, because on the beat you basically always have the melody note. So if I only play the melody notes on the chords, you have most of the time something like this. And in between he puts the other notes, and it can be a little motive that goes up or down or different ideas. We'll see in the next line what he does there. But in the first line it's basically just notes around the melody, and because it would be really boring if you have the melody note at all times on the beat, he just scales up in the end of the first bar to make it more interesting, because if you scale up and you end up on the melody note again but an octave up, then you have a very beautiful way of making little ornamentations actually. For example, a composer like Heinrich Scheidemann was really famous for doing this. It has a very high poetic quality that he makes all these wonderful fast ornamentation with his right hand, and in the meantime you can still hear what the melody is. And he uses the same pattern. On the beat, basically the melody note, and you just play around with it. So let's have a closer look what happens in the first line. So as you could see, it was basically the melody note on the beat, and then, like I said, he goes up to the high A to make things more interesting. In the second line he introduces something new. Instead of just scaling up or down or playing a simple motive around the melody, he starts repeating notes. And that's always a smart idea, because then you have suddenly something that stands out. It's completely separate from what we did before. And it's quite easy to do, because what he does here is basically the melody note and he repeats it an octave up or down. So you get something like this. And it gives a very nice result because you have two ideas that you can just use for the rest of the piece as well. So the third line is again the same as the first one. You just play around the melody, and the last line has these repeating notes again. So let's see what happens if we try the same idea with our hymn tune that we use for the Partita, the Old 100th. Or you can of course use more hymn tunes if you want to. But I will do the same thing. I will play the hymn tune once more, and then I will try to make a similar variation as what Pachelbel did here. So it could be something like this, and like I said before, try writing down a variation as well, because when you write things down, you externalize your thoughts, you really can rethink every possibility, and you can come up with the best idea. And then next time when you improvise it, you will have it somewhere stuck in your brain like, well, I could probably go in this direction, it would probably work. And that way you get better and better at finding the best solution. Well, let's do one more idea. I will do exactly the same pattern, but let's see if I improvise it a second time, if I will come up with some new ideas or different approaches, and then you can try to do the same thing at home. Good luck with it.